is my second take on this because this mic sucks, bro. Oh my god, I wish my tablet was on. Chucky used the other mic. But today's video is essentially about it's about the phrase separate from the art from the artist, and how if a person genuinely believes that art can be separated from the artist, indirectly they should support AI art by their line of logic. And let me explain why in a couple analogies and examples and definitions. Now, when we say separate the art from the artist, right? Typically, when this is said, right? This is said as a regards to when an artist does something problematic or controversial, but with their immense talent, despite the problematic or controversial thing they said, because of their immense talent, the fans will typically look past those actions or words and focus purely on the art. Now, there's two main reasons why you can't separate the art from the artist. One, at the end of the day, the art is just an extension of the artist. So, let's say you're listening to someone's favorite musical artist. You listen to their song, but they like crazy allegations. I can't think of nothing right now, but let's just say they have crazy allegations, right? You listen to their music, no matter how you feel about the problematic thing they did, at the end of the day, when you're listening to that person's music, right? You are still putting, you're still providing them. You're still putting money in their pockets, and still indirectly supporting them, no matter how you feel about what they've done. Also, a I'll use David for example, just to briefly go into it because it is like pretty bad. It's a pretty he essentially confesses to a murder. I'm pretty sure we all know the situation. But he confesses to a murder in a song, right? I forgot the song because I don't listen to that niggas, but confesses a murder. That is literally ingrained. The, that is literally the artist telling you that the that their experience is literally ingrained into the song. So, in that context too, it is impossible to separate the art from the artist, no matter how you try to look at it, no matter how you try to justify it, right? Barely. And this is from a video I saw a while back. I think this was like before AI and stuff, at least before AI was prominent. But it still goes along the lines of separating the art from the artist. Compare it goes like this: comparing saying getting a I love you from a stranger versus I love you to your wife. What is more? What has more meaning to you, stranger or your wife? Obviously, your wife. But why? But in this lens, why? They're both saying I love you, right? It's because you feel a personal connection between the person who's saying it, right? That and that analogy is why you cannot separate the art from the artist. Now, I'm going to talk about AI art. What does that phrase separate from the art from the artist have to do with AI? AI or AI art specifically. The purpose of AI art, all it is just cheap and lazy way for companies to profit off creative work cheaply and as efficiently as possible. Even though it'll genuinely be as long as it's cheaply done, as long as it's done fast and efficiently, quote unquote, that is all that matters. So essentially, AI only cares about results. It cannot objectively make a mistake, but in in the cost of not being able to make a technical mistake, you it's soulless. Like you don't, it's slop. It's rubbish. Like it's buns. It's it's Ice Spice's music. I'm sorry, but you get what I'm trying to say. Because there's no emotion, no slight imperfection, right? AI art is essentially soulless. When you say separate the art from the artist, if you genuinely believe that notion, like you believe you can do that, you essentially only care about results. Now, I know most people probably don't genuinely believe that because most people only say separate the art from the artist as a coping mechanism, right? But what if this is a great example? What if I'm gonna say, let's say you're a Cardi fan and your favorite unreleased song is Ecstasy, right? What if what if you were offered, right, a full song AI, a full song of Ecstasy, right, but it's AI? Would you prefer that? Like, now some people genuinely might prefer that because they might really want that song, but you might not want that because it might not. The AI doesn't. It can't replicate what Cardi done in that song. I know it's kind of crazy because it is a 3 second snippet, but the AI cannot replicate. It can try its best. It can objectively replicate, but there's no like real emotion behind it. It's soulless. It's still just slop at the end of the day. I know some niggas that would listen to some slop AI Cardi, but that is besides the point. I'm gonna use one more analogy. Okay, I feel like one more analogy before I wrap this video up. Imagine the year's 2040. We have this robot, this one singular robot, right? This robot can replicate. This robot can replicate, and even can be objectively better than Prime LeBron James. Now, whatever you think his prime is, it doesn't really matter. I personally think it's 2018. I think that's his prime. That's what I grew up with. But so this robot can replicate 2018 LeBron, all of his skill set, right? And let's say this robot wins like championships, right? It wins a ring, right? As a fan, or not even as a fan, just as a viewer, would that be satisfying to watch? Sure, the robot is objectively winning, but you do not feel the emotions of loss, and because you don't feel the emotions of loss, the sorrow of loss, you cannot feel the joy that comes with the happiness that comes with winning. You do not feel connection. It is a soulless win. It does not feel like nothing. It feels like the bare minimum because that's what the robot is supposed to do, right? Um, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's I think that's what I wanted to say. That if you believe you can separate the art from the artist, like genuinely believe that, then but then you should objectively support AI's art. But hopefully, most of my viewers don't support AI art, and I think that's gonna be the end of this video. I'm gonna see y'all. I don't know when I'm gonna see y'all because um I'm not gonna be. I might have my tablet, so I might can post on my tablet, but I'm gonna see y'all. All right, bye.